people, you are welcome to my kitchen. Today we are going to prepare jollof rice, vegetarian jollof rice for 20 people. So I have my ingredients ready. I have onions here, I have my oil, I have my peppers here, red pepper and green bell pepper. I have my spices here, ginger, negro pepper, and these are natural mixed spices. I have spring onions here, I have my tomatoes, I have my chunks, soya chunks for vegetarians, usually for vegetarians. I have my tomato paste, this is garlic powder, my mixed spices, onion powder, and then I have 5 kilo rice also here, and my salt. Usually this is how I prepare my soya chunks. So I already have water on fire, so when it's boiling like this, I'll just parboil it for some few minutes. So I'll put in my, so I have my chunks. I'll add a bit of spices to it. I'll add a bit of the onion powder. I'll add a bit of the garlic powder. Then I'll add a bit of my mixed spices also to it. I'll add small salt for taste. You don't need to add much, just a little. While our chunks is on fire, we're going to be chopping our things and be blending. You can come and add it to it. I'm cooking with my sweethearts, one of my babies. Yes, yeah, cooking. Together. What I usually do is, when I'm cooking with green pepper, I don't throw the seeds away. I will add it to the ingredients and blend. So we are taking the seeds aside, then we'll add it to the ingredients and blend. But with the green pepper, what to do is, when the jollof rice is almost done, then we'll cut them into pieces and then add it to the jollof rice, just to give it. Because you are going to serve the jollof rice with salad, you are not going to add a lot of vegetables to the jollof rice, just the green pepper to give it some kind of flavor. So now we are checking on our chunks and it's okay, so we'll set it aside and then let it cool down a bit, then we will fry it. We are chopping our tomatoes. This is what I'm doing. I'm going to use the food processor to chop the tomatoes because I don't want to blend it, and I don't want to chop them big, so I'm using the food processor to chop them into smaller pieces. And what I'm doing is, I'm taking the tomato, I'm taking the hard parts from it, and that one I'll blend it. I'll add it to the tomato seeds and blend them. So that's how we're going to have our tomatoes chopped. As a form of flavor, to give it a nice flavor. So we are frying our chunks. Our chunks is fried, and I like the way it is. I'm okay with it, so I'm going to take it off fire. We are done frying our chunks. We are going to start preparing our stew. I'll add in a bit of the onions. Allow it to cook for about 1 to 2 minutes. 4. It smells really good. Try cooking with negro pepper and you will love it. So with this, we are going to allow it to cook for like 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes. So we are checking stew so okay. It's cooked for more than 5 minutes. And so we are going to put in our tomatoes, our chopped tomatoes. Okay. It's an onion that we blended. We are going to add that one too. So we are going to leave this to cook for 10 to 15 minutes before we add the tomato paste to it. Okay, so we are checking on our stew. Okay, at this point we are going to add our tin tomatoes to it. So this is what I usually do. I will mix the tin tomato with water before I put it in the stew. So this is enough to cook 10 cups of rice. So you are not going to use all the tomato paste. So at this point, I'm going to put in a bit of my garlic powder, because I didn't add fresh garlic to this. So I'm going to use garlic powder for my cooking. Then I'll allow it to cook for a while before when the water reduces, when it dehydrates a bit, before I will add in my salt. I'll wait for it to cook for about 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. Then I'll add salt and my other spices. And hey, I'm not going to cook the rice in this. I'll divide it into 2. So with 10 cups of rice, I'm going to cook 5 cups here, and I'll cook 5 cups in another saucepan. We'll put in our salt, our other spices, and let it cook for 10 minutes. Then it will be okay for the rice. So I'll allow it to cook for about 10 minutes, 10-15 minutes. I left some of the onions, so I'm going to add the onions to it, the rest of the onions at this point, and allow it to cook. Hello guys, so we are going to prepare our jollof rice. We prepared the stew yesterday evening, and we are preparing the jollof rice this dawn. It's 4:50, so we are going to divide our stew into 2 and then prepare our jollof rice. Okay, so this stew for 5 cups of rice, and this one also 5 cups of rice, and I think it's too much. As much as king jollof rice with a lot of stew, this is too much. So what I will do is I will take some of the stew, fetch some and put it aside. So in case I add the rice and I feel it's not that much, then I can add the stew to it. the two saucepans will not be okay on this gas cooker, so we are going to add coal pot to it. So we'll be putting this one on a coal pot and cook. Okay, so we are going to add salt and spices to the stew on fire. We're going to add it to it. We are going to cook this stew with 5 cups of rice, and so this is the amount of salt and spices I'm adding. I already added spices to the stew, so I don't want to add too much of it. Now give it water. Just small. So while it's on fire, we are going to measure our rice, 5 cups of it. So we are going to measure our rice. We are going to divide it into 2, and I'm using this cup. This cup is equal to 1.5 cup of rice. That is the cup we used in measuring things in Ghana. This cup is equal to 1.5. So if I measure one of this, I've measured 1.5 cup of our usual cup we use in measuring rice, gari, and other things at the market. Okay, so I'm dividing this into 2. So I've divided rice into 2, and I'm going to give it a good wash. Some people don't wash their rice, fine, but I will love to wash it before I put it in the stew. Okay, let's check on our stew. See, it's cooking. At this point I can put in my rice. At this point, it's too much in this, so I'm going to divide it. When I finish washing one, then I'll come and wash the other and add. So this is the 3rd time I'm washing it. I think it's okay. I will let the water drain for some time. So this 5 cups of rice we have on fire. Okay, looking at the stew, I will definitely add some of the stew to it. I try to taste to see if the salt is okay, but I think I'll add more, so that when I add water, I will not be adding salt again to it. It's better when you are cooking jollof rice, you add your salt once and for all, so that in the course of your cooking, when the water is dry, you taste and you realize that the salt is not enough, so you have to make some salty water and add to it. No, try and make sure that you have enough salt, so it will be once and for all. So I will leave it on fire while I attend to the other one in the coal pot. So this one is on a coal pot. The stew wasn't enough, so I'm going to add some to this one too. Okay, then I'll add my salt and spices to this one also. This one I increase the salt content. If after putting in the rice I feel the salt is not much, I'll add a bit to it. Okay, so I'll allow it to boil for some time, cook for some few minutes, then I'll add the rice. So we are going to check on our rice so far. Okay, so as we can see, the water has dried up, but there is still moisture in. I'll put the fire on a low heat and then cover it with a napkin. I'm not going to use a white napkin because I don't want to stain my napkin. I'll use color one. Because the stew is enough, you see there's still moisture in, and vapor alone can be used to cook this rice without adding water. I'll just cover it with a napkin and allow it to cook. And I've washed half of the rice, so I'll put it in. I'll go and wash the other half and come and put it in. So we are putting in the second batch of the rice. To this and give it a stir. So this is okay to cook the rice, and that will be enough to cook the rice. We are checking our rice for the second time, and at this point it's very dry, so I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of water on it. So this will cover it with we are checking this one also. Our rice for the third time. Okay, so it is getting better. So with this, I'm not going to add water again. Everything is okay. I'll just allow it to cook for some time because there are still some hard ones in it. Let me show you a secret. If you are cooking a lot of jollof rice and some are hard in it and you want to everything to be okay, be even, this is what you do. You can separate your jollof rice this way. Create a hole in the middle. Then we'll just cover it. So the vapor from the down will come up and spread up well. So let it cook for about We'll leave it on a low fire for about 10 minutes and we'll come and check. Okay, we are checking on this one too, the second rice. Okay. Just want to sprinkle a little bit of water on it and then leave it on fire for some time. So we are going to check on this, the one on the coal pot. We will separate it like the way we did the one on the stove. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of water on it. So we are going to check on our rice. As you can see, it's well cooked. Everything is cooked, no hard one inside. Everything is well cooked. And so we'll add the green pepper to it and leave it on a very low heat for some few minutes, and then it will be done. This is actually for a friend's wedding and we estimated 20 vegetarians. So I am cooking for the vegetarians, but this rice can feed more than 20 people. We are going to check on the one on the coal pot too and add our green pepper to it. So our rice is now cooked, fully cooked. Everything is now okay. The fire, we have off the fire, so as you can see, the rice, jollof rice, is okay now. We may add garden peas and sweet corn to it, but even if we decide to add it, we are not going to add it now. We'll wait when it's time to serve, then we'll add it to the rice in the coma and serve it. So that's our vegetarian jollof rice for you. We have our chunks, everything in, salt, everything is on point. I wish you could have a taste. This is the one we prepared on the coal pot. That one too is nicely cooked. Everything is okay. So we are going to dish it into this coal and take it to the program. We have everything in the bowl. So that's our vegetarian jollof rice for 20 people. As I said, we may be adding sweet corn and garden peas to it, and that one will be done when it's time to serve it. We'll just add it to it. And so that is our jollof rice. I hope you can see the beautiful color and everything, and it tastes really good. In fact, if you eat this rice, you might not think it's even a vegetarian rice. You might not think there is no fish in it. It tastes really good. Everything is on point. I wish you could give it a try. Please subscribe to my channel. Thank you and God bless you.